Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's not on the Amber. It's not on the back here.
Well, let's get started. Cora is with us tonight to give us an update on the project.
Yep. We have a full agenda. I'm going to be quick, to the point. I'm going to leave you with kind of a pamphlet there. The purpose really is, one, is to thank you for having us into your facility and being able to provide the project for you this past summer. Colin McChesney is with me. He's the project manager. Got the school opened up on time. We were able to do work, no change orders, as we had mentioned from the get-go. We are still kind of tuning things out. Because of that, one of the things I did is I left Brent an agreement. It's an amendment to the contract that basically extends warranty from 1 year to 2 year, just so we can work through.
He told me it was 3 years.
Did he? We talked, but it does extend the whole project. So my plan wasn't to take up too much of your time. I will answer any questions or anything, or come back and do a more in-depth presentation. But I at least wanted to leave you with something. Let you know the project went well, and hopefully everyone is satisfied in their classrooms. So.
Thank you.
Anything else, or?
It's a lot brighter in here now.
It is. That's good. Absolutely.
Should make sounds probably better.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so behind you, I will also be brief, but I wanted to give you a little presentation on the 339 program. So currently, these are the 7 programs that we have. I'm not going to read them to you, but these are the programs that we have, and just job-seeking skills, think of that as co-op. So although that's the 7th program, co-op is kind of an entity on its own. It's not a so-said vocational program, if that makes sense. What our plan is to rebrand and work on I don't want to use the word improving, but building some excitement around these programs. Currently, rehabilitation aid, we call that sports medicine. The name sports medicine alone attracts a kid that wants to be involved in sports medicine. We want to change that name to medical science. You brand it to a lot bigger audience, nurses, doctors, lab technicians, whatever. All of these kids could get experience through the medical science program. We're looking, it's currently, and this is all except for one of our programs are currently 2 years. We're looking to move them to 3 years. And why we're looking to move those to 3 years is so that kids can start these in their sophomore year, and then they would do a co-op, a Keystone co-op in their senior year. So there's a total of 6 credits for each one of these programs that kids need to get. But we're looking to expand this to a 3-year program. We also, and you'll hear me talk about, when we talk about 339 programs, I want, when a kid walks into those classrooms, I want it to look like a lab, not a classroom. If you want excitement around programs, you need to make them, and that's what these are supposed to be, and I'll talk a little bit later about that, should be hands-on programs for our kids. It's on the agenda tonight, but we were awarded an $85,000 grant for, what do they call it? and simulators. So think of the dummies that we used to blow into for like CPR. These are full body simulators that you hook right up to a computer, and they emulate things like collapsed lungs, failed livers, different things like that. These are going to enhance, this one thing will enhance our program. The kids will get a lot more experience with various uses of that. Criminal justice, that is currently a 3-year program. We're looking to take that down to a 2-year program, and the reason for that is where most of the other programs you can do a co-op your senior year, it's fairly difficult for us to find co-ops for kids in law enforcement. You know, you can't take a kid and put them with a police officer. Could there be some co-op? Sure. But we're looking that kids would then take these courses their junior and senior year, and that's why we're doing education, moving that again to a 3-year program, and I'll go over numbers in a little bit. We currently do not have any kids enrolled in education. I think we need to sell this better, but we would move to get kids in their 10th and 11th grade year and really get them out, hands-on experience within our elementary schools. We are doing some of that now, but I think we would enhance that and do more of that. Multimedia technology, rebranding just the name of it to digital media and production, and moving that again from a 2-year program to a 3-year program. That, if any of you have been in that lab and classroom truly looks like a lab. You walk in there, and I'll take any of you that want to see it, you walk in there, it almost looks like a TV studio. That's what we want to create in our other programs. Business, we currently have 2 programs. So we currently have accounting, and we currently have information management systems. I'll go over the numbers of kids enrolled in a minute, but we're looking for taking those 2 programs, closing those 2 programs, and opening one program called Leadership, Administrative Leadership and Entrepreneurship. All of our programs, our kids need to go on to some type of post-secondary in these fields. Administrative Leadership and Entrepreneurship, there'll be 2 paths for kids that want to just be job ready at the end of high school, and kids that want to go into business as a study in some type of post-secondary. And then job seeking skills, I've already talked about that one. That is simply just co-op. We do different things, work study. It's not just co-op, it's work study, and then that's the Keystone Co-op as well. Purpose of these programs is to provide career pathway opportunities for Berwick students and expose them to various careers. You'll hear terms like concentrator versus completer. A completer is a kid that is fully enrolled in the program and that will finish and get their certification and take the NOPI exam. A concentrator is a kid that just wants to dabble, wants to take certain courses, and I'll go over the numbers in the next slide. We have a lot of kids that are taking all of our courses, but we don't have a lot of kids that are becoming completers. Right, wrong, or indifferent, what I would like to see is us expand and track more kids that want to explore it as a completer. I think when a kid goes into one of these programs, if a kid goes in and says, hey, I tried out education and I realized it's not for me, that's just as valuable as a kid that goes into education and says, hey, I want to do this for a career. Because what you've done for that kid and that family is, I'm not going to go to school for 4 years and get a degree in education. I've just learned that I really maybe don't want to do that. So I think it's just as valuable for kids that go in and say, hey, I tried this, I don't like it, I'm going to try something else. We've already talked about the hands-on opportunities, and we want to create more and more of that. And I've already talked about classrooms looking like labs versus a typical classroom with desks and chairs and that. So, we have 7 programs. We're recommending moving to 6. Ideally, we'd love to have 20 student completers in each program. But what I want to do is just have you think for a second, if our goal is to get 20 completers, which is probably an aggressive number, we have approximately 150 kids per grade level. You would need to gain 5 kids or 10 kids for each of those programs each year to hit that 20 number. So 10 sophomores, 10 juniors, or 10 juniors, 10 seniors, and we have 150 kids. That would mean about 50 of those 100 kids would be involved in our 339s. So that raises the question, and I don't have an answer for you. Do we have the right amount of programs? Do we have too few, or do we have too many? And that's for another discussion. Currently, the numbers below in the box are, you'll see we have 4 completers in the rehabilitation aid, which will rebrand to medical science, 2 in the multimedia, 9 in criminal justice, 0 in education, 0 completers in information management, 0 in accounting, and 1 in job seeking. That 1 is kind of misleading because we do have a lot of kids out on co-ops. And Cheyenne, I don't know if you know that total number of kids in co-ops currently.
I believe we actually have 5 now enrolled. We were waiting on paperwork completion for their 408. So job seeking has 5. That's because they're taking the CTE pathway with that, but on work experience in co-op we have around 30.
The column next to it, now understand that number is also misleading because we might have some classes that have 30 kids, but we might have some classes that have 10 kids. But this is, if you add up all the courses in each one of them, the programs, this is the number of kids that are sitting on average in those classes. So we may not have a lot of completers at this point, but we are filling up a lot of the classes, with the exception of maybe 3. But I wanted to break down the numbers for you because I believe these are great opportunities for Berwick students. I think school districts need to do more opportunities for careers. I think our kids have a lot of opportunities at Columbia Montour as well. But I want to, here's where we're at, and here's where we want to head. So I'm happy to answer questions. I think that's the last slide. One more. Oh, so how we're planning on promoting and rebranding. I'm going to run a town hall meeting for parents on our 339s with Berwick High School. We do an 8th grade presentation. Each program, we're working on developing like a symbol or an emblem for each of those to brand it. And we'll share those with you when we get some thoughts together for that. We're working on marketing brochures and flyers. We want to promote them more on social media. Our communication program is going to develop videos that we'll post online for parents and kids to look at to say, here's what this program is, a short 3-minute, 4-minute video that kind of shows here's what it is, because I think a lot of people don't even know we have these programs. And we'll be highlighting these in our summer newsletters and our quarterly newsletters that we send out to our community. So happy to answer any questions or anybody have any ideas or questions on the Okay, next topic is National Board Certification. I know we have, this is addressed in the teacher contract. I think we worked with one of the, I'll say, school districts out there that put a lot of emphasis on getting your National Board Certification. I think we have a lot of teachers that go through and do that, but also are interested in that, so there is compensation that is within the teacher contract for that. And I think it's one of the very few things out there that there's data out there that says if you're a National Board Certified teacher, that produces results. I don't know if anybody has any questions or if you have anything that you want to add to that.
So it's rumored that Senator Culver is crafting legislation that we could receive state funds for this. I don't know, I think we should invite her here to talk to some of our teachers, see if we can get them involved with that.
What's it cost, $2,000 to get a national board certification?
I don't remember what the number is, and then they have to maintain it every 5 years, I think it is.
And we have been taking that.
We have been, yeah.
just a recap of what's been going on so far. Brennan Spade just went to this past Saturday to the cross-country states. Made it as a sophomore. He said it was a very difficult course. It was very hard, but now he knows. I said now he knows what to look for in the upcoming years, in the junior, senior year. It was a great experience for him. Our volleyball team has won, I think, their 4th or 5th district title. District 2, they play tomorrow night in Athens at 6 o'clock for the first round of the state playoffs. This Friday, where the football team is playing for the District 2 title for the first time since 2013. It's been a long time playing Scranton Prep, which will be a great game. It's on Fox 56 TV, and there's a couple. There's another group that's going to stream it, but they didn't pay yet through the PIAA. We'll get that information. That's about it for their current sports. And creeping up on November 14th is the first day of winter sports, official day of practice, which is in 2 weeks. So it's creeping up. That's about it.
Do you have any questions for Bo? Christina, do you have anything for us additional to the budget?
Just a few things. As of October 31st, our year-to-date expenditures were at like 19.8%, so that perfectly puts us on track, and it's very comparable to what's been happening in past years. As you know, the state is still in an impasse, so when you look at what does that mean to us, by this time last year, we had almost $20 million from the funding that had come in. So we're still remaining very stable because our real estate revenues have been very strong. So that's all very good. The general fund, our cash balance stands at $18 million. After we process all the November bills and the payrolls, we'll be right around an estimated $12 million. I looked a little bit further ahead. In December, we have 3 payroll. It's one of the only 2 months that we have 3 payroll periods, and plus the operating expenses. That month will total about $6 million. So we will eventually, if the state doesn't pass the budget, we'll start to look into maybe having a short-term loan. We'll give it another 30 days to see what happens, but that's
I think we can comfortably get to January, through January, but in January, if there's still a state budget impasse, we're gonna have to start having some conversations as far as cash flow and potential to need some type of short-term loan.
And the only other thing, last month I talked about the Berwick Hospital tax appeal, so that went to court in October, but they had what they call a reorder confirmation, and that's for Friday, November 7th. So there really is no update at that point. Thanks.
Thank you. Greg, you have anything for us?
Yeah, prior to our last meeting, they had a presentation, a ribbon cutting ceremony where staff and students created a mural outside. It was just beautiful. It is a dragonfly with great big daisies, and it was all cut glass. It is beautiful. Then they had on October 6th a day of action against bullying, and there were 200 people that attended it. And the last thing they did was suggest that we read this book called Unreasonable Hospitality. And it has to do with going above and beyond what we do for people and what we do for students. And it's all about being kind. Remember, you can make a good impression on a student or a bad impression on a student. And what they're saying is please be kind. I will have the book after this the next meeting, and I will be glad to share it with you. It's very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. Nothing new to report for policy. Mr. Hess, Tech.
Yes, 2 things really. The interviews for the assistant principal position are ongoing. And the RFP that was approved by the JOC this last meeting. Basically, the superintendents, along with the board administration, are the ones that came up with the parameters for what they're looking for. Basically, it's, like we talked before, basically it's a soup to nuts to see if the current model is the best or if any other model is the best. I mean, I'm going into it as an individual board member with an open mind, because I'm looking for stuff that can improve both tech and the offerings for our kids. So at this point, until we see what offers for the RFP are come back, I really don't have any more updates on it.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to the end of the committee portion of our meeting. Next up, we will have approval of the minutes from our October meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion to approve this month's budgetary transfers.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Monthly bills for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dion,
Yes.
Mr. Hess,
Yes.
Mrs. Culberlo,
Yes.
Mr. Lanning,
Yes.
Mrs. Moyer,
Yes.
Mr. Nestle,
Yes.
Mrs. Post,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
and Mr. Yost.
Yes. Get a second round.
Yeah, so, on the agenda, not for a vote, but, I did receive back a quote from, the open gate metal detectors. The quote has quite a few, items on it. I don't know if we need all of those items. I'm not sure we would need things like replacement batteries. I think we can probably buy them right from Amazon. So, but I wanted to get what they sent to me, to you. They're, I think it's approximately about $20,000 a piece, that is on there. We would need, what we talked about was 2 per building, so a total of 8. They did say there's a required, training that needs to take place for this, and there's a cost for the training. It's a good business model to require the training, but then charge you for it. But just bringing this back to the table for discussion. Now these, I did not look at multiple companies because we talked about potentially getting the brand that local districts have used, Hazelton being one, and I think maybe Southern being another. So I'll open it up to the floor for discussion on this topic.
I don't have it in front of me, but one of the things I saw in there was how much it was for installation. So if that's a per unit, unless it's something related to warranty, I think we pay them to install one and show our guys how to do it, and then we can install the rest.
You carry it wherever you want. Put it up
Portable.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't remember, it was an enormous expense for installation.
You don't need
Yeah.
cords, the power cords, that was another 1,200 or whatever. You don't need that. Use the batteries, they're mobile.
And they're just Milwaukee M18, right?
Yeah, I think they're 18. They're big ones. If you guys wanna do the standalone, the old-fashioned metal detectors, Hazelton's getting rid of all of them, so made an offer, I'm sure you can get a really good deal on them, but that's time consuming, you're gonna have lines. These, you're gonna be able to just walk right through and hand you mugs, no mugs, 3-ring binders, computer case, and you can walk through. Really, there's no interruption.
Yeah, the old ones don't buckle, set them. Yep.
Steel
Set
toe
one up
boots,
everywhere I go.
Get rid of it for a reason.
Yeah, that's right, they're getting rid of it for a reason. Hanover used those at a football game, and it was a long line.
Anyone's going in, well, Penguins hockey game knows what those old things are like. Takes time to set
Don't
up
have 3 pennies in your pocket.
Right.
pretty much.
When I talked to the vendor, the only area of concern that they brought up to us was the size of our middle school being 900. I have no experience with this, so I don't know, Jeff, you have more experience with this. They said to get 900 kids through 2 entrances would be a lot, if our goal was to get kids in within like a 15-minute window. I don't have any experience with
I'm
this. so.
sure you guys bring kids in for breakfast. Kids come in, walkers are coming in at different times. The buses are letting up. We'll put 850 through and we have no lines.
It's not like 900 are standing there waiting to get in.
Right.
You don't have a line down there.
That's a 30-minute.
You stand next to the machine, they hand it to you, you wrap it around your hand, and they just keep walking. And I'm doing this with little kids, so they have the capability of doing it. High school kids certainly will.
So 2 would be sufficient for 900.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're real easy. I mean, Jared, you know firsthand, Nanticoke had open gates, and it was, we'll break
Yeah,
through.
big difference.
Such the
So I guess, where do we go from here? Certainly, you know, if we want to move forward with metal detectors, there's a policy one tonight, it'll need a second read the following month. And then at some point, we would need to determine what we want to purchase, and then take a vote on that.
Are we able to pick off of that quote we have, or do we need to sit down with them and get a tailored quote? No pun intended.
I mean, I think that quote outlines the items that we would need. I don't think the things that are on there, we would need all of them, as I stated, but.
And there's gonna be grant money available for these machines.
Sure, if we wait till the, now, I say that, but there's that tiered system that you gotta work through. But the safety money that has been attached to the state budget historically, I believe you could use that money, but we're sitting at a state impasse currently as well. So,
Couldn't spend any money till we're past that.
Well, if you're gonna wait a month anyways, then
Yeah.
you may as well wait, see what's going on.
See what's going on.
You know, why spend 20 if you don't have to? We can't work until the policy's been approved second reading,
correct.
so we have over a month.
Just for due diligence, is there anyone with a similar product, just to get a convenient quote?
We buy them all the time.
Yeah.
I thought we got them for 18, but they
I
like
think
us.
that might.
That's
be-
what it is.
They like us, look, we buy a lot of
You
them.
buy more. Yeah, we had talked about using that brand.
Yeah.
Certainly I can get quotes from other companies, I just, you know, I'm really picking out of thin air, so, if you want me to get more quotes, happy to get more quotes.
I don't know who you get
These are,
Specialty.
they're very easy to operate, very easy to move.
That's a big plus.
Yes.
So, you want me to continue to work on this quote and maybe pick out the things that we don't think we need, bring that back for further discussion at the December meeting? Is that what we, or is this something that people want to move forward with at, come December?
I'm ready to move forward.
Where do these fall in our security tiers? I mean, are we there, or are we aside from those?
I have no idea if we have security.
I would
As far
have
as
to.
the tiered grants go.
So the tiers that were part of the budget last year, I'd have to look. And there's no guarantee that that would be the requirement for what would happen this current year, but I would have to look at those. I don't know if you have, I mean, I just have not looked at purchasing these in the past, so I don't know where that falls in the, is that a tier 3 or is that a tier 2 or something I can find out for you.
I had asked the question over there, because tears came up when I was talking about it. It's how you articulate it. If you articulate a need, and you can demonstrate a need, then you have the opportunity to get money for these.
So once the state budget is passed, and there will be money available.
Well, there may be money now.
There may
There's
be.
BCC, there's a whole bunch of grants out there besides just the state coming in.
I'm just thinking if there's gonna be grants available more once the budget's passed, if we buy them now, will we still be able to get that money to use for other things?
Sure, you'd be able to use that money for other things, but you wouldn't be able to supplant to pay for them. I thought that's where you're going.
Because we already purchased them.
Yeah, so you use it for other things, but you certainly can't backtrack the purchase.
I'd say we keep looking into it then and work on that quote and see where we're at. Look into tiers and stuff like this, and how the wording needs to be and.
Did you guys use them in Check?
No. We had the hand ones, but we didn't have the.
The hand won't take too much time.
Saw there was a number of hand wands on there too, and I thought on our first talk with administrators, we've had enough.
So we talked about that. I think the recommendation is that, yes, we have hand wands, but we would need to like move them with the system constantly. We think that an additional 8 would make it a smooth operation. So I don't want to assume, but I'm just going to continue to work on this, bring this back up for discussion at the December meeting.
What is the turnaround time?
I don't
Three
know.
Once you accept, no, once you accept the quote and pay for it.
We'll have them in 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
I looked into it.
Had 2 quick other items since I'm talking. In front of you, I gave you just a draft copy of a potential 26-27 school calendar. I told you I'd provide you 2. One is based on the discussion, what would our calendar look like if we took the whole fair week off? 2, the second one is if we left it the same. I would draw attention to the other thing that I added in here is 2 snow makeup days. We currently have no snow makeup days, and I think we could get into a whole discussion about FID days. But what I would like to see, what I would recommend moving forward with is that our first 2 snow days be traditional snow days where we close and we make them up. Beyond those 2, we could get into use the 5 FID days that we are approved for. But what I would draw attention to is the end date of school is only 1 day apart with the week off, but where I made up those days is that the calendar where you, where we leave it the same and we only take 2 days off for fair, the start date is Tuesday, the 25th of August. And the start date, if we take the week off for fair, I made up those 3 days by taking the start date to the 20th of August. So start the Thursday, the 20th for 2 days, and then that full following week. Certainly these are just drafts. I thought I'd give them to you this month. Certainly I'll bring these back for further discussion after you've had a chance to look at them at the December meeting. What I would also like to do is take these and build our board calendars around these so that we don't run into the issues that we did this year with board meetings being on the same night as parent-teacher conferences and things like that. So I'd like to build those together and approve those together so we try to eliminate as much as we can conflicts. Any discussion, questions, certainly you can have them and review them and send me any comments or questions. Hearing none, the last thing I had sent out to you was in regards to the pay survey. I do have a copy of all of the pay surveys here if you would want to look at those, but I believe I sent these out to you. I think at one point Berwick did not participate with the pay survey. What I will tell you is we use that data and connect it to grants. Now, certainly I'm not trying to promote, hey, do this only because we connected to grants, but looking through, I did not personally have any issues with questions that were asked in there, but I'm not a voting member, wanted to share that with you. And then if we are going to approve, we don't need formal action, we would just issue the pay survey. And what grades is it?
So it is 6, 8, 10, 12, and 4th is kind of this year.
So discussion around that topic. Hearing none, I don't want to assume, but I'm going to assume that everybody's comfortable with us issuing the survey to students. Okay. All right, that's all I have.
So back to calendar and scheduling board meetings around the calendar. Are we gonna move to, this gets approved in December, are we gonna look at moving to a working meeting and a regular meeting?
So we're gonna talk about that in the next meeting, but I would prefer that. I think it's a good idea. It would open up more conversations. It would give us more time to think before we vote, which would be nice to have. So I would be in favor of that.
So we'll draft that for the December meeting, we'll draft it with 2 meetings each month?
Just more about for scheduling.
What's that?
We want to talk about for scheduling.
what I can do is when I come to the meeting when we're gonna discuss that, I'll have 2 calendars made, one with the current setup and one with the work session.
That sounds good.
Does that work?
Building admin reports were attached. Anybody have any questions or comments on those? That brings us to our first round of public comment. Agenda items only. Please state your name and township or borough.
Look at me.
All right, if there's no comments, we will move on to general items. We have 7 items tonight. We'll approve all 7 with one motion.
So moved.
Second.
Anybody have any questions or comments on any of these? All in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Extracurricular, we have 1 item for the band to go out of state to Delaware.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Budget and finance, we have 2 items. We have some professional learning and then we'll
So moved.
Second.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Academic affairs, 1 item for acknowledging tenure for Mary Ziller.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Transportation, 2 items. We'll do 1 motion for one and roll call for the other.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor for T1?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. T2 will be a roll call vote. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Any questions or comments on that? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Post,
Yes.
Mrs. Moyer,
Yes.
Mr. Nestle,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Heon,
Yes.
Mrs. Pakurla,
Yes.
Mr. Hess,
Yes.
Mr. Lanning,
Yes.
and Mr. Yost.
Yes. Personnel, we have 15 items. Motion to approve 1 through 15.
So moved.
Anybody have any questions, comments, abstentions?
I did 16. 4.
T4? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Any old business? Any new business? That brings us to our last round of public comment. Please state your, sorry, you have something? Please state your name and township or borough.
Christina Bursell, Culver, Salem Township. With liberty and justice for all, we recite these words at the start of every school board meeting. And then we have to sit here while liberty and justice is stripped from our most vulnerable students. I guess I should thank you for taking a month off from passing more policies that harm our LGBTQ kids, because I know you're not done. Or maybe since you got away with taking away their civil rights, you will move on to other kids, our immigrants, our kids of color, our kids with special needs. I sincerely hope not, but that is the pattern in other districts in the name of common sense. They don't just stop with the LGBTQ kids. So no matter what, I and others like me who took that liberty and justice for all seriously will continue to show up and fight back. You can repost nasty things about me on Facebook, that I'm a bad, misguided person, and I'm a bad Christian. I spent most of my childhood being bullied in the Berwick School District. I've developed some pretty thick skin. And as far as my faith is concerned, I'm actually a Baptist, and Baptists hold the separation of church and state as sacred. So it actually doesn't matter what my religious beliefs are. It doesn't matter what anybody's religious beliefs are. This is public school. Render therefore unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. With liberty and justice for all, I didn't recite those words every day as a kid in the Berwick School District to fight for anything less.
Crystal Mikulowski, Nescatec. In regards to the calendar, since it wasn't posted, I don't know what the proposal is, other than what you proposed. I was just wondering if those include the half-days on Wednesdays, because it does make childcare and transportation, especially for our children that are involved in school sports, to get back to the school, a little bit more difficult in the fall. So just keep that in mind as well. I don't know if you're proposing to keep those or not.
So the drafts that were handed out did keep those. I know for at least our elementary schools, we do try to partner with Bloomsburg, or I guess Commonwealth University, to try to provide some care for people that need it at the elementary levels. But it does give us opportunities for professional development with our teachers. So they are still included.
Anyone else?
I would just like to recognize Mrs. Cotrillo and Ms. Post. I know this will be your last meeting, and I know I haven't been with you long, but school board member service is many times unthanked, so I thank you for your service over the years.
Before this meeting, we had an executive meeting, 2 personnel topics and 2 legal topics. Our next meeting will be here at 6 o'clock on Monday, December 1st. Motion to adjourn. All in favor?